The doctor is in. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez, and this is Med Talk, Health Talk. Summer vacation season is just about over. And for most parents, it's time for your kids to be going back to school. And for those parents out there with kids who will be entering school for the first time, how are you preparing them? Going back to school from the summer break means time for another adjustment. Not just on the new tasks waiting for them at school, but also on the weather that changes unpredictably. Oftentimes, mothers are on the lookout for these changes, and preparing their children mentally and physically needs a lot of hard work. While some students easily adapt to their new environment, some kids find going to school for the first time a very anxious moment. And these problems often come together with that anxiety that the student feels whenever in school and the threat of changing weather that makes them prone to illnesses. How should mothers deal with these health concerns? To learn more about addressing these health concerns in the opening of classes, we have in the program Melanie Lourdes Dionisio. She is a psychologist and guidance counselor, as well as Dr. Benjamin Sablan Jr. He is a pediatrician and is also the medical director of Qualimed Hospital, Santa Rosa. Welcome to the show.
Yes.
Now, doctor, what are some of the common illnesses parents should expect, especially now that the opening of classes is the rainy season?
There are the usual common illnesses like cough, colds, diarrhea, but usually for school children, you will see a lot of there are epidemics in schools like...
what kind of epidemics should they be worried about?
There's the usual for children, measles and chickenpox.
Okay.
usually break out when the children go to school.
Now, with these kinds of epidemics, is it important that the kids be complete with their immunizations before going to school?
Yes, and I suggest all mothers, all parents will review their child health record book because it contains the vaccinations which their child has had.
And the best ways is to have a good checkup with their pediatrician, before actually going to school. Now, Ms. Lani, what are some of the challenges that parents should expect when their child is entering the school for the first time, emotionally wise or psychologically wise?
Of course, there is separation, anxiety, but it's not more of the anxiety level pa. It's a separation of course, the bonding of the mothers or the parents and going to a strange school environment that is new, and siguro it would be better for parents to prepare 1 week or 2 weeks so that the children would be familiarized with the environment.
When you say prepare their children a week or so, what kind of preparation should they look out for?
They have to visit the school so that it would not be
such a new thing,
environment for them.
So it's not like a sort of like an emotional and sensual overload for them during their first day. So that's actually pretty good. Now, doctor, what can the parents do naman to help prevent these illnesses, minimize it? Would vitamins be a good source of preventive care?
Well, the way I look at it, more than vitamins, it should actually be teaching their child to wake up early in the morning, having a good breakfast, because a good breakfast sets the tone for the day for the child. If the child has had a happy and full meal, then they have been shown to do better in school.
Right.
And getting them back to, okay, it's time to study now, and then go to school, and there will be time to play afterwards. Vitamins help in a way to complement what is lacking in the diet.
You mentioned earlier the separation anxiety disorder, or SAD. Now, maybe some parents out there don't have the practical time or means to sort of do that preparation, although it is very healthy. What if a child already suffers from separation anxiety disorder? What kind of symptoms do the parents see or expect to see?
Of course, crying, continuously crying, and they won't come inside the school. And of course, the things about the school related to school, it would triggers for emotional expression on the part of the child. So at this point, it would be better to consult immediately.
With a
It could be the psychologist or the counselors. It's very important is the support of the family and also on the school community.
Very well. Now, Doctor, do you have any message out there for the viewers to sort of help prepare their children for the first day of school?
Well, I think much as they prepare in enrolling their child, they should actually spend a few days before school preparing their child and preparing themselves, maybe reviewing the child health record book, seeing if their child has had their vaccinations, if their child has had a dental checkup, which is very important, and also preparing their child psychologically for the start of school. It's something which they can look forward to.
Okay, very well said. And how about for them to be prepared for the possibility of the child being anxious and having separation anxiety disorder?
For young children, it would be very important to have a mind conditioning. Rather than, that's the preparation, that's very important because they came from a vacation. As mentioned by Doc, it's the schedule again of the body clock. It must be prepared. And also, it would be again a structured environment.
That was very good words, Ms. Lani. Now, Doctor, I'd like to thank you for joining us and sharing your knowledge on how to basically prepare those kids for possible illnesses during the first day of school. And when we return, we will talk to a mother and find out why she thought it was best to have her child homeschooled. We'll find out the advantages and some of the challenges she had to face. Keep it here on Med Talk, Health Talk on CNN Philippines. One of the challenges faced by children who are homeschooled is the potential lack of social interaction that you would normally see in a traditional school. This, some say, might lead to a lack of social skills and the possibility of low self-esteem on the part of the child. To help us shed light on this topic, we still have in the program Melanie Lourdes Dionisio and Verna Cesar. She is the mother of a 6-year-old homeschooled child. Welcome to the show. Now, could you tell us what made you decide that homeschooling would be the best for your child?
Yeah, we decided to homeschool our kid because we want to focus on building his character and teaching him the life lessons that we think he needs to learn.
Was this like an overnight decision or was this a mahabang process?
Yeah, it's mahabang process.
Okay.
Yeah, we have prayed for it really very hard. And we ask for the support of our friends who are homeschooling. And we also did research about homeschooling.
Okay. Now, what are some of the advantages naman, Ms. Lani, for homeschooling? Some of the advantages muna tayo before some of the challenges.
There are 3 advantages. One is the children will receive a very creative curriculum.
Okay.
And then the second, the bonding of the parents. That's very important in the formative years of the children. And the third one, the disadvantage, according to other literature, became now the advantage that socialization is more selective. Rather than to expose the children in very young age in a very open environment. And that's the 3 good reasons it could be advantages. To you.
Now, my next question would be, ano yung mga challenges that you've encountered? How many years has he been homeschooled?
Yeah, we started our homeschooling journey when he was 3 years old.
3 years, so roughly 3 years na siya. No? So that 3 years, ano mga challenges so far ang na-encounter niya?
Number 1, of course, the patience, because you are dealing with your kid. Unlike in the traditional school setup, the teacher and it's different.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Now, is this mostly a mommy's job, or is it both mommy and daddy?
Both. Yeah, we have
like like a split down the road, 50-50.
Yes.
So after mommy, next naman si daddy. Could you give us an idea on what a typical day for your son is like being homeschooled?
Okay. In a homeschool, and ngayong one of the beauty of homeschooling is that it is very flexible.
Okay.
So we can
The time management, between subjects, is it still from one subject, from one lesson, or
no?
to the
We
next?
do this like what he wants, what our kid wants.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this type of structure, or maybe a very loose type of structure with regards to education, is this healthy for majority of children, or should this be a case-to-case basis?
Actually, when we have to look into the history of the homeschool from the 80s to 90s and now, there are parang naging progressive na siya. Bago na siya eh. Hindi na siya yung before na because you're artista, you have to come to homeschool. Now it's different. So there are time for bonding, curriculum, and arts, and also enhancing talent, right? And that's very important. So the bonding that we are talking about is not only for the family, but also for the support group who would provide homeschool, the providers of the homeschool, and also the participants. It's a whole community right now. Eh?
Okay.
Now,
Now, just to make it clear for the viewers, you're not alone in this. Like you said, there's a structured support group for all those children who are homeschooled, and it's a very serious decision on both parents on this part. So my next question is, what advice could you give the moms out there, or the parents for that matter, who sort of are thinking about maybe shying away from the traditional type of education and going into homeschooling?
The advice that I can give for the parents who want their kids to be homeschooled, you really prayed for it. Number one, that's the most important thing. And then you do research, and then you ask the people who are really into homeschooling.
Now, Ms. Lani, for the parents out there who are thinking about bringing their child's education into homeschooling, what advice can you give naman to sort of make it a really, I guess the key here is a balance. What advice can you give?
actually, we have to go into the reasons why parents are getting into the homeschool. One is the dissatisfaction of parents in our traditional school. And then the second is the desire to provide religious and moral values, di ba? So that it would be intact. And the third one is yung negative social environment. I think we have to look into that reasons. Then you have to look into the different accredited homeschool. It could be international and there are some local. But very important is to look into the law of Philippine law, if that is fitted for our school, education school.
Okay.
And then if they have to visit the place and look for the vision mission of the organization.
Okay. Now, from homeschooling, we now go to childproofing. And what we mean is childproofing your home to help prevent your child or toddler from needless trips to the emergency room. Keep it here on CNN Philippines. This is your typical living room in any home. Looks pretty simple with regular furniture, but if you have a toddler or a child at home, any of these can be a potential hazard. To give us more information about childproofing, we have in the program a mom blogger, Miss Pilipina Spineda, or more commonly known by her social media handle as Mommy Pepot. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doc.
Now, what age ang pangkaraniwan na at risk dito or mas magiging beneficial ang pag-childproof ng bahay?
Well, based on our experience, since we have 5 kids, that's age between 6 months to 4 years old.
Okay.
Yan yung medyo delikado na age for them.
Now, Mami Pepot, pag sinabi mong childproofing, anong exactly ibig sabihin nito?
It's like making your home safe for your kids and yung bahay nyo is good for them to live and na less yung accidents for them. Kasi as parents, sometimes, masyado tayong concern yung pwedeng mangyari sa kids natin outside our home. What we don't know is, inside our home, mas marami actually harm na pwedeng makasakit sa kanila.
Now, can you define for us or give us a description of what a safe home is? Now, siguro start tayo ng safe or child-proofed living room.
Well, I'll speak again from our experience, no? So sa bahay namin, yung sala namin is we don't have mga glasses na table. So we use wood only. And then yung mga wires namin is well kept siya behind the, for example, the TV. And
this is to prevent accidental electrocution naman,
and
ano?
Syempre, kasi pag nahatak ng bata yung wire, there is a tendency na landing sa kanya yung TV, for example. So, and also, we use furnitures din na perfect sa age ng kids. So, for example, a TV stand, a real TV stand. Nabasa ko kasi before, some of the accidents is yung mga TV na nakapatong sa dresser. So, pag akyat ng bata para kumuha ng clothes, sabay na sila nahuhulog ng dresser, and at the same time, the TV. Also, siguro yung the glasses, mga babasagin na bagay is alisin muna sa...
So it's more prevention, ano? Try to prevent.
And also yung mga mga socket, medyo malaki din ang tendency niya ng ng aksidente. So you could use yung mga socket na sinasaksak.
Yung mga electrical outlets with a cover when not in use. How about carpeting as well? I've heard about a lot of accidents with children tripping over mga carpet sa bahay.
We don't use carpet kasi, but what we use at our home, especially sa bedroom, is yung rubber mats. Just lang to prevent yung pagbaba ng bed, mabagsak, mabaldog. So we have rubber mats at home.
Or siguro if they do have carpet, siguro naka-double-sided tape yung carpet para hindi magkaroon ng gap or ng space, ano? Now, with 5 kids, child-proofing your home, you've been a very vocal advocate on social media about this. Naging mahal ba to? Mahal ba magpa-child-proof ng bahay?
Sa case namin, hindi naman. It's more on talaga, parang it's like thinking of ways how to ensure the safety of your kids. At the same time, syempre you have to think then your budget. So we're more on practical yung naging approach namin sa child-proofing namin.
So if ever they want to find out tips on how to do this, merong silang pwedeng puntahan na
they can
site?
Check my blog, www.pepot.com. So I usually publish mga safety tips doon and mga practical tips din for moms.
Since you mentioned mo, may marami kang tips din sa site. Can you share some of those tips you have with our viewers?
Mga tipid tips, back to school tipid tips, mga grocery tipid tips, and a little bit on how to handle family finance.
Any message out there for the viewers on probably how to make their home a safer environment for their child?
To make your home safer, nakalimutan ko pala i-mention is please also include yung orientation. So you also have to trust and orient your kids about the safety and kung ano yung meron sa bahay nyo. So you tell them na bawal ito sa kanya, ito pwede sa kanya. So they would also know. So yun. And message for moms about child-proofing is, if naman you don't have the money to spend, you can always do stuff na magiging na mura pero magiging safe for the kids pa rin. You can always child-proof your home even without spending that much.
Okay. Thank you very much for those tips and for sharing us your knowledge. You have 5 kids experience, so you have a lot of experience of keeping your home safe. And they can check out your blog for more tips at
www.pepot.com, or they can find me then on Facebook at Mommy Blogger Pepot.
Okay. And with that, we'd like to thank you, our viewers, on joining us. And you can join us again next week for more interesting topics here on Med Talk, Health Talk. I'm Dr. Freddie Gomez. Thank you for watching.